Welcome back to Nation of Glory. Today, we're stepping into a story that isn't just about a wrestler, or a powerhouse athlete, or the roar of an arena shaking under the thunder of boots and battle. It's about a journey. A journey carved out of legacy, pressure, pride, fire, family, and the relentless heartbeat of someone who refuses to be ordinary. This is the cinematic story of Bronson Rex-Steiner, a story of the man the world now calls Bron Breakker. And trust me, family, you're going to want to stay until the very last second, because this isn't just a story about a superstar, it's about destiny chasing a man until he could no longer run from it. From the beginning, Bronson was never living in the shadow of greatness, he was living in the middle of it. Born into a family that didn't need to raise its voice to be heard. A family whose achievements were written across the walls of wrestling history. His father, Rick Steiner, and his uncle, Scott Steiner, names that weren't just respected, they were feared, loved, and undeniably cemented as legends. But for Bronson, it wasn't enough to simply inherit a famous last name. He wanted to build something of his own. His identity, his purpose, his legacy. Not because someone told him he must, but because deep down, Bronson knew he was meant for something massive. When he stepped onto the football field for the first time, the earth didn't just shake beneath his cleats, people felt something different about him. Coaches would later say that the kid didn't even know how strong he truly was. That he carried the type of power you can't coach, the type of instinct you can't teach, the type of fire you can't extinguish. A natural athlete with a warrior heart. And on that field, with the lights blinding and crowds roaring, Bronson felt his first taste of the battlefield, but in the back of his mind, another battlefield waited. One with ropes instead of yard lines. One with destiny waiting instead of defenders. But Bronson wasn't ready for that battlefield yet. Football was his world, his discipline, his focus. He fought for every yard, every opportunity, every chance to prove that he was more than a last name. More than a young man from a legendary family. He wanted to stand alone, to forge his story in a world where he wasn't the son of Rick Steiner, but simply Bronson. The fighter, the competitor, the man who earned respect, not borrowed it. Yet life has a strange way of calling us back to where we belong. After football, Bronson could have chased a dozen paths. But deep inside him, something was stirring. A whisper carried through years of watching ringside battles, iconic promos, and family victories. A whisper that grew louder and louder until it wasn't a whisper anymore, it was a roar. Wrestling wasn't just a family tradition. It was in his blood. In his genes. In his identity. And one day, Bronson stopped running from the inevitable. He embraced it. When he walked through the doors of WWE's Performance Center, people felt a shift. An energy that didn't just enter the room, it filled it. Coaches watched him train with the intensity of a man who didn't just want to succeed, he needed to. Every representative was personal. Every drill was a declaration. Every drop of sweat was a promise that he wasn't there to be a copy of anyone. He wasn't there to imitate Steiner power, he was there to create something new, something explosive, something unforgettable. And then, came the birth of Bron Breakker. A name that didn't echo the past but cracked open the future. A name sharp, powerful, and unbreakable, just like the man behind it. When Bron Breakker stormed onto NXT, he didn't just debut. He detonated. His arrival was a shockwave. A collision of raw strength, speed, aggression, and charisma. The type of athlete who didn't walk to the ring, he charged. Who didn't wrestle, he exploded. And with every match, the message was clear, a new era had arrived. Fans witnessed something special, a combination of old-school brutality and new-school explosiveness. He wasn't just fighting opponents, he was tearing through them. One by one, until eventually, the NXT championship wasn't just a dream. It was destiny. And Bron didn't simply win it. He conquered it, dominated it, redefined what it meant to be a champion in modern NXT. He became a pillar of the brand. A leader, a warrior, a future icon. But success doesn't come without challenges. Pressure builds. Expectations rise. Some people cheer, others doubt. Many wonder if a man can break free from the weight of history when he carries the legacy of titans on his back. But Bron Breakker never bends. Never folds. Never hesitates. He does what he's always done, he fights. When the moment came to step into the bright lights of Monday Night Raw, the entire wrestling world watched with one question in their minds, is Bron Breakker truly ready? And then he showed them. On Raw, Bron didn't just perform. He unleashed. Every move was sharper, every hit louder, every moment bigger. The world saw not just potential, but arrival. The arrival of a star destined for greatness. A star ready to take on the world's biggest stage and own it like he was born for it. And now, as a member of the Vision, one of the most striking and dominant rising forces in modern WWE, Bron Breakker has stepped into a new chapter of evolution. A chapter of strategy. A chapter of unity. A chapter where the fire of ambition meets the power of a collective mission. The Vision isn't just a group. It's a statement. A declaration that the future belongs not to the lucky, but to the undeniable. And Bron is at the heart of that storm, shaping a legacy that stretches far beyond championships. This is where the story turns cinematic, where the lights focus not only on his victories but on the mindset behind them. Because Bron's journey isn't simply about power, it's about identity. About walking a path that people expected him to walk, but choosing to walk it on his own terms. With his own name, his own fire, his own vision of what greatness means. When you watch Bron Breakker compete, you're seeing more than strength. You're seeing discipline. You're seeing sacrifice. You're seeing a young man who woke up countless mornings questioning if he'd ever become more than what people already believed he was supposed to be. But instead of letting that weight crush him, he used it. Fueled it. Turned it into energy, into passion, into the kind of unstoppable drive that separates stars from legends. And in arenas across the world, fans feel that energy. Children look at him the way past generations looked at the stars of old, with wonder. With inspiration. With the belief that if Bron Breakker can climb through obstacles, through pressure, through expectation, then they can too. That's the magic of a true superstar. Not just a performer, but a symbol. The embodiment of work ethic, resilience, and courage. But Bron's story is far from complete. In fact, it's only now beginning to reach its true form. Every match he steps into, every challenge he accepts, every enemy he confronts is shaping him. Forging him. Preparing him for the destiny that every wrestling fan knows is on the horizon. The rise of Bron Breakker is one of the faces of WWE. He has the talent. He has the lineage. He has the presence. He has the heart. But most importantly, he has the hunger. The hunger to be remembered. The hunger to be feared and respected. The hunger to create a legacy not written in someone else's shadow, but illuminated entirely by his own fire. In the world of Hollywood style storytelling, Bron isn't just an athlete. He is the protagonist of a saga still unfolding. A hero forged in family roots, strengthened through gridiron battles, refined in the fires of NXT, and unleashed on the grandest stage of them all. And every step he takes is building towards something monumental. Imagine the future, the music hitting, the crowd rising, the lights blasting through the arena as Bron Breakker walks to the ring not just as a competitor but as a headliner. A main event titan. A man the WWE Universe will talk about for decades. That moment isn't a question of if. It's a question of when. Because destiny doesn't skip men like Bron Breakker. It waits for them. And when they're ready, when they've earned it, when they've fought for it, destiny opens the door wide and lets them walk through it like kings. Bron is stepping toward that moment right now. Every match, every promo, every story, every impact, and the vision is amplifying him, supporting him, sharpening him for the wars ahead. Because the journey ahead isn't just about winning, it's about conquering. About carving his place in the mountain of WWE history. And the best part, this journey is one we all get to watch happen in real time. We get to witness the rise, the evolution, the moments that years from now people will look back on and say, that was the moment Bron Breakker became unstoppable. So as we watch his story unfold, whether you're a lifelong fan or someone hearing his tale for the first time, remember this: greatness isn't born. It's built. Through pressure, through challenges, through passion, through purpose. And Bron Breakker is building something that will stand tall long after the final bell rings. He is not just part of the future of WWE. He is shaping it, driving it, redefining it. This is the rise of a powerhouse. The evolution of a legacy. The beginning of an era. And you're here to witness it. Thank you for joining us today, family. If you enjoyed this deep dive story from Nation of Glory, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this video with someone who loves stories of passion, struggle, and triumph. Your support helps this community grow, and we appreciate every single one of you. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and stay part of the Nation of Glory.